We're going to start our third day of orders of operations and word problem lesson. First, going over the assignment from yesterday, circle the part of the expression that you would complete first. First expression says 4 times the difference of 13 minus 6. Looking at our orders of operations, we have parentheses with a math problem inside of it, 13 minus 6, so that would be done first. Next one says 8 minus 4 times the sum of 2 plus 5 squared divided by 12. Looking at the orders of operations, we have parentheses inside here. But inside that parentheses, we have an exponent, so that part needs to be done first. And the last one, negative 12 squared divided by 4 minus 3 times 2 to the power of 4. There's no parentheses, but we have exponents, and the first exponent that we see is negative 12 squared. Then we had to solve two problems. This one says negative 64 divided by 4 times the difference of 2 minus 6. Looking at our orders of operations, we have parentheses in here. We have 2 minus 6. We can change that to add a line, change the sign. Different signs find the difference. So 6 minus 2 is 4. Answer gets the sign of the larger value. So this is negative 4. This is 4 times here. So we have to make sure we're still showing 4 times. Bring down the negative 64 divided by in front. Going back to orders of operations again, parentheses. Well, this parentheses is multiplication, so there's no operation inside of it. There's no exponents, but there is multiplication or division. First, we see negative 64 divided by 4. 64 divided by 4 is 16. Negative divided by a positive is negative. And then we bring down the times negative 4. Okay, this is the last part of our problem. Negative 16 times negative 4. 16 times 4 is 64. Negative times a negative is a positive. So our answer is positive 64. Next one over here says 12 divided by 6 plus 5 squared times 3. There's no parentheses in there, but there is exponents. We have 5 squared right here. 5 squared is 5 times 5, or 25. Bring down everything else in the problem. So now we have 12 divided by 6 plus 25 times 3. Go back to the orders of operations. There's no parentheses, there's no exponents, but there is multiplication and division. In order from left to right, the first thing we see is 12 divided by 6. So we do that first. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Bring down plus 25 times 3. Okay, go back to the orders of operations again. There's no parentheses, no exponents, but there is multiplication or division. We have 25 times 3. So 25 times 3 is 75. And then plus 2 in front. And our last problem says 2 plus 75, and the answer to that is 77. Okay, your due note today is to practice substitution. Remember that when we substitute, we take this number that we're told equals x, and we put it in place where the x is. So you're going to go ahead and do those, and then I'll go over the answers. So this first one, when we put the negative 3 where the x is, our math problem becomes negative 3 plus 5. Different signs find the difference. 5 minus 3 is 2. Answer gets the sign of the larger value, so it's a positive 2. Next one, negative 8 minus x, where x equals negative 2. Negative 2 goes where the x is. Remember to bring over the whole thing. Bring over the negative 2. So we have negative 8 minus, and then we have that negative 2. Add a line, change the sign, changes our problem to -8 plus 2. Different signs, find the difference. 8 minus 2 is 6. Answer gets the sign of the larger value, so our final answer is -6. Next one down here, -2x for when x equals 4. Put the 4 where the x is. Number next to a letter means multiplication, so our math problem is -2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8, and if we look at our tic-tac-toe board, negative times a positive is negative, so our answer is -8. And the last one over here, 18 divided by x for when x equals -6. So -6 goes where the x is, and our problem is 18 divided by -6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Positive divided by a negative is negative. So our answer is -3. Okay, we're going to do some substitution in orders of operations problems. So this gives us a bunch of different numbers that we have to substitute in. Up here, we're told that A equals -2, B equals 3, and C equals -8. So those are the different numbers we plug in wherever we see a letter. First problem says -a to the power of 3 plus b times c. So we have -a. So we have negative and then whatever a is. So a is -2. And that is to the power of 3. And then plus b times c. Well, b is 3 times c, which is -8. So now here's our math problem. -2 to the power of 3 plus 3 times -8. So looking at our orders of operations, and if you need to keep it handy over to the side, parentheses. We don't have any parentheses that have math inside of them or an operation inside of them that we have to do. So we'll go on to exponents. And if we look at exponents, we have -2 to the power of 3. This problem looks like -2 times -2 times -2. -2 times -2 is 4. 4 times -2 is -8. We still have this negative sign out front here, so we can't forget that yet. Plus 3 times -8. So let's look for a minute at what this is. Negative a -8 or opposite a -8 is actually +8 plus 3 times -8. Looking at our orders of operations, there's no parentheses, exponents, but we have multiplication right here. 3 times -8. 3 times 8 is 24. Positive times a negative is negative. So we now have 8 plus -24. Different signs find the difference. So 24 minus 8 is 16. Answer gets the sign of the larger value, so our answer is -16. The next one says -a times b minus c. So here's our numbers again. -a. So negative a -2 times b is 3 minus c, which is -8. We have a lot of minus negative signs in here, so I'm going to take a moment and do all my add a line, change the sign, so I can see a little bit better what this problem says. So when I rewrite it, I now have 2 times 3 plus 8. Kind of simplifies it some. So if we look at our orders of operations, there's no parentheses, there's no exponents, there's multiplication and division. First, I have 2 times 3, which is 6. Bring down plus 8. And 6 plus 8 is 14. Next one over here, we have C divided by A. So C is negative 8 divided by A, which is negative 2. Negative 8 divided by negative 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Negative divided by a negative is positive. And the last one over here says C times the sum of B plus A. So C is negative 8 times the sum of B, which is 3, plus A, which is negative 2. Orders of operations so that we do what's in the parentheses first. 3 plus negative 2, different signs find the difference. So 3 minus 2 is 1. Answer gets the sign of the larger number, so that's a positive 1. And then we bring out the negative 8 times in front. Our problem now says negative 8 times 1, and the answer to that is negative 8. Okay, here's some problems for you to try. First, you're going to write the correct mathematical expression, and then you'll get to a question that shows you the correct mathematical expression, but then you have to solve it. So the first one here, to evaluate the expression when A equals negative 2, B equals 3, and C equals negative 8. AB plus C. A is negative 2. B is 3. Plus C is negative 8. So there's the correct expression. Here's our correct expression again. Now we're going to solve it. Orders of operations, no parentheses, no exponents. We have multiplication right here, negative 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Negative times a positive is negative. Bring down the plus, negative 8. So we have negative 6 plus negative 8, same sign sum. So 6 plus 8 is 14. Answer stays the same. Our answer is negative 14. Next one, we need to write the expression for B times the sum of A squared plus C. So B is 3 times A squared. A is negative 2. I need to square the whole thing, so I need to throw a double set of parentheses in there. And you can even turn these ones into brackets so you can see them a little bit better. Plus C. C is negative 8. And then it would be your end bracket. So that's the correct expression for that substitution problem. Here we have our correct expression, and now we need to solve it. So orders of operations, we need to do parentheses first. These brackets act as parentheses. They just look different so that you can tell there's two sets here. So we have this long mathematical expression here inside of the brackets, but inside of that, we have this exponent that we need to take care of first. So negative 2 squared is negative 2 times negative 2, which gives me a positive 4. And then I need to bring down everything else that's still inside of the parentheses. Because now I have a parentheses problem. So looking at order of operations, I need to do that first. We have 4 plus negative 8. Different signs find the difference. 8 minus 4 is 4. Answer gets the sign of the larger value, so it's negative 4. And bring down the 3 times in front. Now we have 3 times negative 4. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. Positive times a negative is negative. So our final answer is negative 12.